You have to be transparent so you no longer cast a shadow, but instead let the light pass through you. Happiness does not come from without, it comes from within. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Don't wake me for the end of the world unless it has very good special effects. To care about your outward appearance is important, but what's more important is to have a beautiful soul. No matter how safe and beautiful it is, a cage is still a cage. When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes. Have faith, when you have nothing else have faith. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Life has become immeasurably better since I have been forced to stop taking it seriously. Sometimes things become possible if we want them bad enough. If you do not believe you are disciplined, it is because you have not decided to become disciplined yet. You know there's no such thing as a complete lie. There's always some truth in there. You just have to go after what you want, and if it doesn't want you back, then so be it. It doesn't deserve you anyways. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. Language always betrays us, tells the truth when we want to lie, and dissolves into formlessness when we would most like to be precise. Better the comfort of a lie than the absurdity of the truth. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. If you don't behave as you believe, you will end by believing as you behave. Not how the world is, but that it is the mystery. Judging is the cause that creates the effect of choosing. There are no environments where you're only going to win, because life just isn't like that. If there was anything that depressed him more than his own cynicism, it was that quite often it still wasn't as cynical as real life. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. When you say I am my too much, you lose the capacity to understand the we and our. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. If you hang out with chickens, you're going to cluck, and if you hang out with eagles, you're going to fly. I'm looking into my past lives. I'm convinced some of them still owe me money. If it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, it's not a world that I want to live in. Life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Life is not measured by what you have. It's measured by what you give. Every man is a damn fool for at least 5 minutes every day. Wisdom consists in not exceeding the limit. It is through imagination that we transcend understanding and travel into the world of possibilities. There is no harm in taking a step forward if you are not standing on the mountain's brink. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. When I was about 8, I decided that the most wonderful thing, next to a human being, was a book. Each affects the other, and the other affects the next, and the world is full of stories, but the stories are all one. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Fear is nothing more than a negative assessment of risk. I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you. Even if you are on the right track, but just sit there, you will still get run over. The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. When you've tried everything and failed, try everything else and succeed. A sense of the divine presence and indwelling bears the soul towards heaven as upon the wings of eagles. You need to compete for success. There are some things that doesn't come naturally unless it's hereditary, and success is one of them. Do not set aside your happiness. Do not wait to be happy in the future. The best time to be happy is always now. Snow floated down every once in a while, but it was frail snow, like a memory fading into the distance. Those who are without compassion cannot see what is seen with the eyes of compassion. If you start by promising what you don't even have yet, you'll lose your desire to work towards getting it. Don't dwell on things. Don't stay in one place too long. It was the only way to stay ahead of sadness. The truth is never what you want it to be, little fox. Success is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden. Whenever you feel bad, remember all the good days you've had and be happy again. When something can be read without effort, great effort has gone into its writing. Great is truth, but still greater, from a practical point of view, is silence about truth. In practical life, we are compelled to follow what is most probable. In speculative thought, we are compelled to follow truth. Be a surfer. Watch the ocean. Figure out where the big waves are breaking and adjust accordingly. We should live our lives as though Christ was coming this afternoon. Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. Writing is the spectrum through which the chaos of life can be seen, studied, and understood. Do nothing and nothing happens. Life is about decisions. You either make them or they're made for you, but you can't avoid them. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. No man ever threw away life while it was worth keeping. I felt lonely and content at the same time. I believe that is a rare kind of happiness. Most of the propositions and questions to be found in philosophical works are not false but nonsensical. Maybe some things aren't meant to be known. Maybe they're just meant to be accepted. The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. Books didn't make me wallow in darkness. Darkness made me wallow in books. The mistakes I've made are dead to me, but I can't take back the things I never did. I am thankful to all those who said no. It's because of them I did it myself. Everything that is done in this world is done by hope. Silence is nice to have if you wanted it, but maddening if you didn't. Staying in the past won't help you move on to your future. There are no conditions to which a person cannot grow accustomed, especially if he sees that everyone around him lives in the same way. Faith is not belief in spite of evidence, but a life in scorn of the consequences. Do not let your difficulties fill you with anxiety. After all, it is only in the darkest nights that stars shine more brightly. Nobody ever lives their life all the way up except bullfighters. Be the leading light in your own life and break free from your socially constructed boxes to become better, bolder, and brighter. Impossible things are really rough to do, you know. It is more important to be of pure intention than of perfect action. You know, life fractures us all into little pieces. It harms us, but it's how we glue those fractures back together that make us stronger. There are two ways to reach me, by way of kisses or by way of the imagination. But there is a hierarchy. The kisses alone don't work. You can't change the wind, but you can set your sails. Remember that you are only alive now. This is the only moment you have. Embrace it. Give a bowl of rice to a man, and you will feed him for a day. Teach him how to grow his own rice, and you will save his life. No matter how high your status in life is, you are inferior to death. For this, be humble. Do the best you can, with what you can, while you can, and success is inevitable. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. You will have 500 million little bells, and I shall have 500 million springs of fresh water. The most wasted of days is one without laughter. Ignorance isn't a sword. It's a weight that drags a soul swirling to the bottom of the sea. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. Here, in this quiet place we own, worlds are born. Run the voodoo down. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. Life is more or less a lie, but then again, that's exactly the way we want it to be. You lose nothing when fighting for a cause. In my mind, the losers are those who don't have a cause they care about. It means you're perfect just the way you are. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world.